A little bit worried about this Chat GPT. Some AI robot standing over me going, you couldn't even get my name right. You slag. It would be nice to have mandatory paternity. I'm not saying because I don't think the kids are mine.
Well, this took a fucking turn.
I know Harrison's mine, that's for sure. Because we were at it like rabbits. There was no time for you to have it off with anyone else. Because I was in there constantly.
Oh, wow! I sort of felt it coming in the house.
Right.
So we had to drive to the hospital.
Because I was worried about the car seats.
Yes, because you had just got a new car and you were like, not on the seats, Claire, please.
Yeah, that's right.
Cream leather.
It was cream leather. We good? Yeah. Hello and welcome to the Buckleys. Or the Buckleys. That's us. This is the podcast where we sit down, have a chat, moan a bit, and invite you into our lives. Before we get into it, we just want to remind you that you can get in touch with your stories and questions by emailing thebuckleys@platformmedia.uk, or you can message us at the Buckleys Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to the show on Spotify or whatever podcast app you like to use. And if you do enjoy the show, let us know. Review it. Hey, Claire.
Yes.
With Father's Day, this is going to look like I'm reading something now, but I'm totally not. Okay. With Father's Day just around the corner, it's...
Doing great, babe.
With Father's Day just around the corner, it's our Harry's Takeover episode.
Woo!
Hence all the Harry's product that we've got in the background.
Harry.
Again, if you're just listening, you're missing out. Harry's is a men's shaving brand all about making great products at a fair price, so you can enjoy all those smooth shaves for less, without that feeling of being ripped off. We'll be discussing all things Father's Day and dads later on in the podcast, including selecting a winner for our Harry's So Dad It's Good segment.
Yeah.
Which I think has been the longest running feature we've had. But before we get into that, what's been going on in our lives this week, Claire?
Is this weekly moan?
No, this is just what we've been up to. This is just what's happened to us. Between the last podcast recording and this podcast recording, what's happened?
Nothing.
Nothing. Well, I have done a little bit of tinkering. You know, I mentioned Chat GPT. I mentioned Chat GPT the other week there.
Yes, sir.
So I thought I'd actually look into it.
Yeah.
See what it's all about.
Okay.
Now, from what I've heard about Chat GPT, it's not as good as what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Because, you know, like, actors and writers have been going on strike and stuff like that. They've got nothing to worry about. Trust me. Because I asked Chat GPT to help me out with this podcast at one point.
Is that what's been wrong with this podcast?
Well, I just thought, why not get some... Because apparently that's what everyone uses, basically Chat GPT.
Why are you saying GPT?
GPT. Chat GPT.
I can tell you didn't learn to read in the last fucking week.
No, I didn't. So anyway, I downloaded the app.
Right.
Because I wanted to try and make... Have you seen on social media and stuff, little action figures? So I wanted to try and make a Jay action figure.
Right.
I gave it a picture of Jay. That one there.
Right.
And I was like, draw an action figure. I put, he always has condoms and beer. Don't know why I did that. Honestly, I was trying to think of like Jay stuff and even I couldn't think of...
He doesn't have beer. He's a kid.
Yeah, but they're always trying to get beer. All it kept saying was, I tried to do it twice, and all it said was there was an error while attempting to generate the image because it went against their terms and conditions or something. So I was like, well, this is my first interaction with Chat GPT, right? And I thought that was what it was for. Everyone's got these little figurines. And I was like, I'd love to be able to do that. So then I just thought, I need to go right back to the beginning. I need to start my relationship with Chat GPT. So I just said, what do you do?
Right.
It said, good question. I can help with a lot of different things, depending on what you need. I can answer questions, write stuff, essays, stories, etc. Edit and improve writing, generate images. Analyse images, brainstorm ideas, help with code, plan stuff, and translate. So I was like, right, can you give me a joke to tell my wife? she's Scottish and likes horror movies. I thought just the big hitters.
Right, okay.
What do I know about my wife? Scottish horror movies.
Okay.
Absolutely. Here's one tailored just for her.
Hit me.
Right? Once I got this, I was like, comedians, writers, performers, they've got nothing to worry about. Why don't Scottish ghosts go out in the rain? Because they're afraid they'll get a wee bit damp and vanish into thin air.
Oh, God.
Like air as
spelled
in...
A-Y-R.
No, spelled heir to the throne.
Oh.
What?
I don't
What?
know, mate.
That doesn't make any sense. So immediately I was like, don't worry. Like all those creatives that are going on strike, worried about AI and stuff like that, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. They said, want it spookier or cheekier? I went, spookier. Why did the Scottish vampire break up with his ghoul friend?
Don't know.
Immediately, Chat GPT has got confused with setup and punchline.
Oh, okay.
Straight away. Because they've put a pun in the setup.
Yeah.
Why did the Scottish vampire break up with his ghoul friend? Because she said his love life was dead and he took it as a compliment. The fuck? What does that mean? What does any of that mean?
Don't know.
And then it said, want one set in a haunted castle or involving bagpipes? I can keep going.
You picked bagpipes.
I said involving bagpipes. Perfect. Here's one with bagpipes and a spooky vibe. Why don't ghosts haunt Scottish bagpipers? Because even the undead know not to mess with someone who can summon the spirits with one blow. What does that mean? What does that mean?
I don't know, but I'd like to be able to do that.
I was so confused. So then I was like, this isn't working. This isn't working out at all whatsoever. Because I was a little bit like, maybe Chat GPT can help me with stuff to talk about on this podcast.
Yeah.
After this interaction, I was like, I'm out.
No.
Mate, I'm out.
Yet you've still fucking talked about it on the podcast.
I carried that. Yeah. So then I just went, tell me about actor James Buckley.
You are such a little narcissist.
Then it goes into all the stuff about me.
Is it all right?
Yeah, it's all right. The birthday, where I was born, Croydon, London, the In-Betweeners, his breakout role. He's done voiceover theatre and even podcast appearances. So that's what got me interested. Then I'd said, did you get this information from Wikipedia? Because that's what it looked like. It said, no, I didn't directly pull it from Wikipedia. I used a whole other stuff. I was like, right, great. So then I put, I host a podcast called The Buckleys. Do you know it? That's awesome. You host The Buckleys. I was like, all right, maybe we can be mates. I do know of it. Claire and James Buckley's podcast that dives into everything from parenting and pop culture to brutally honest chats about marriage and daily chaos, all with a hilarious twist.
Not including this episode.
Then Chat GPT said, are you one of the Buckleys themselves, or are you using the same name for your own show? Either way, tell me more. I'd love to help you brainstorm content, write show notes, pitch episode ideas.
Oh, it's trying to squeeze you out a job.
You guys are fine, honestly. And that's saying something. I put, I am James Buckley. I was trying to impress.
To show off
to
Chat GPT.
I was trying to impress Chat GPT. No way! If you are James Buckley, which I didn't like, that's brilliant. I've got to say, Jay Cartwright is one of the most iconic comedy characters ever. So then I was like, right, okay. I feel like you don't.
When is this going to end?
I was like, well, it's a whole thing. I've spent a while, and we do need content for a podcast. I said, can you write a joke for my podcast, The Buckleys? Something my listeners would enjoy. Absolutely. Here's a joke tailored for the Buckleys in the style of your brutally honest, self-deprecating, and slightly chaotic humour. Keep saying chaotic.
I wonder why.
Claire said I needed to be more emotionally available, so I opened up a beer.
How'd it spell my name, out of interest?
It spelled it correctly,
Oh!
which I don't know if it was creepy or not.
Because I'm not as famous as you. It shouldn't know me.
No, but it's just a bit weird, isn't it? Then I was like, can you give me more jokes? I was trying to get something that I could maybe...
That one wasn't bad.
Do you know what? I actually edited a bit to make it work. So I was asking for more jokes and stuff, and none of it. I was like, this is not... I'm going to have to obviously keep coming up with stuff myself, which is difficult. So then I just went, how do you know so much about my podcast? Then it said, a bit of a magician's secret, that one, but really it's a mix of context clues, stuff you've shared, like saying you are James Buckley and the host of the Buckleys, and a dash of well-informed guesswork based on what's out there publicly. Then it goes on to say, I'm not spying, I just piece things together quickly. That said, if this is all in just good fun and you're playing as James Buckley, I'm still 100% in on the bit. Either way, I'm here to make your podcast sharper, funnier, and as chaotic. I keep saying chaotic. Get it? It's a mess. The podcast is a mess. Get it. So then I was like...
James, we've got to wrap this up.
No.
I know this goes on. Telling me.
I know this goes on a bit. So then I was like, I am actually James Buckley. How can I prove it to you? I was getting ready to take a picture of my driver's license or something.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
That's genuinely cool. If true. But here's the thing. I don't actually need you to prove it. Whether you're James Buckley, a mega fan, or someone just having a laugh pretending to be him. And I was like, no, I am. I am James Buckley. Then I went on to ask it something else. Because it was really giving me some quite thoughtful answers to stuff. It didn't seem like it was a robot or something like that. So I did say, first of all, I said, can I be honest with you? It might seem critical. Because I was a bit worried. Didn't know who I was talking to be honest with you. Absolutely, be as honest as you like, is what Chat GPT said.
You're having an affair with this thing now?
No.
Is that what you're going to tell me?
No, I'm not. I'm finding this conversation slightly terrifying.
You said this?
Yeah. Your answers to my questions are well-informed and seem insightful. Should I be afraid? Honestly, totally fair reaction. That's what Chat GPT said. The whole machine that knows what I'm into and can write jokes in my voice thing can feel a bit eerie at first. But no, you definitely do not need to be afraid. So then I asked, do you think there could be a possible threat to humanity in the future?
I think there could be a threat to your humanity if you don't fucking wrap this up.
That's a deep and really important question. Short answer, yes, there's potential for risk.
Yes!
Right?
I'm going to be an Asda. Fucking clearing the shelves.
Why there could be a threat, power and control. If AI is used irresponsibly, say for mass surveillance, misinformation, or autonomous weapons, it can absolutely cause harm. Why we might be okay, human values and ethics. I'm not got a lot of confidence in that. Should you be afraid? Maybe a little.
Oh!
It basically told me that it depends on who's sort of in charge of AI. All I wanted to do was make a little fun picture of a J Cartwright, and then I started going down a rabbit hole.
All right, well, let me just put an end to that because somebody sent me one in my DMs. There
Yes. Yeah, they managed to do it without having an existential crisis.
Mod Muffin. It's his name because it says @Mod Muffin on it. There you go.
But anyway, I'm freaked out.
I made a Clair Doll as well. You want to see it?
Let's have a look.
Look how cool I look. My wee green tracksuit that you took the piss out of.
I mean, it doesn't look anything like you.
Yes, it does. Look at her.
But look at
She's fucking adorable.
the J thing.
Yeah, that actually look. But you can pick different styles.
Right.
Rebecca,
What did
my
you
sister,
do, like
made
Bratz
this.
style or something?
Yeah, like little dolls. Anyway, you done?
I'm just a bit freaked out, I'll be honest with you.
Well,
Just a little bit freaked out, a little bit worried about this Chat GPT thing. See, this is the thing. I'm going to be the first one to go. There's going to be some fucking AI robot standing over me going, you couldn't even get my fucking name right. You slag. Let's move on to So Dad It's Good. This is the last time we'll be doing this.
Aww.
Which is a shame. This podcast is sponsored by Harry's, Feel Good Fellas. Harry's is a men's personal care brand, all about making high quality, thoughtful products people will be proud to use every day. In the lead up to Father's Day, we've been shining a light on all things dad.
Is that father with a V?
Father. Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Father's Day. Over the past few weeks, our listeners have been sharing some brilliant dad stories, and today we'll be picking our favourite, with the winner receiving some shaving goodies from Harry's. But just before that, a reminder that this Father's Day, Harry's are making it easy for people to show their appreciation for dads with their buy one, gift one offer in Tesco and on harrys.com. When customers buy a razor in select stores, Harry's will send another to Dad on them. So, what did we have? Let's have a quick recap. We had period panic from Tracy.
Yeah.
Tracy's first period. Dad panicked.
Just told her to stay in the shower.
Made her stay in the shower until Mum came home. Fatherly fashion from Ashley.
The odd socks.
The odd socks.
Yeah, and that's not winning.
Let's have a bit
Oh,
of
sorry.
jeopardy.
Sorry.
Plain pranking from Rach.
Rach. Oh, yeah.
Her dad told her that
Torches.
if you shine a torch in the garden, a plane will land in
Yeah.
it. And she believed that until she was 19. And the only reason she stopped believing it was because her boyfriend told her that that's not true.
Yeah.
So she could have carried on going.
Yeah.
I've got a little one like that, to be honest. You know Canary Wharf?
Yeah.
So my dad called it the Rocket Building, but not like he didn't call it that. It was just whenever we drove past it on the A13
What, is that
and
the
stuff.
big thing?
You know Canary Wharf, the one with the point at the top of it in Docklands? When I was a toddler,
Right.
we'd drive past that and my dad would be like, look, it's the Rocket Building. We'll be home soon.
Right.
So every time we saw the Rocket Building, it meant that we were like 10 minutes from
Yeah.
home. So I carried on thinking it was called the Rocket Building
Right.
until I was way too old
To be calling it
to
that.
be calling it
In
the
front of
Rocket
people.
Building. Yeah. I'd be like, oh yeah, well, we're meeting at the pub. Oh, there's a nice place near Canary Wharf. And I was like, oh yeah, that's near the Rocket Building.
Yeah, but that's just cute.
I Am Your Father from Paul.
Oh, yeah, when he let them watch Star Wars. Caused emotional distress.
I know, it's a kid's film. It's definitely a kid's film. And Never Ending Story. Like, these are kids' films. Emotional Intelligence from La Laith.
Larlaith. Oh, the Lidl catalogue.
After a breakup, La Laith's dad tried to console him by reading out deals from a Lidl catalogue.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you worried about?
Hey.
Look at this. Look, check these deals out from Lidl.
Yeah.
My Hero from Samantha. Samantha's dad drove pretty much his car into the house to pick up Samantha so that she didn't get, because it was raining.
That's right, when she got spray tan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad dares Beth, supermarket mischief. As a kid, Beth's dad encouraged her to sneak car washing sponges into other shoppers'
Yeah.
trolleys.
Yeah.
Swimmingly from Wes. Wes received a heartwarming compliment from his daughter after teaching her to swim, calling him the best teacher.
Cute.
It's always great when your kids, because they're always ready to tell you when you're shit at something.
Yeah.
We've also got Dad Goes Large, which was from Fleur. Whilst in Ibiza, Fleur's dad rocked a flamingo print outfit, visiting Amnesia and ending up singing NSYNC in the pool late into the night.
I know my favourite. What's yours?
My favourite, I think, is Tracy.
Me too.
Because
Because it's just so mental.
it's
Get in the shower and your mum will deal with it when she comes home.
it's just, as a dad,
But also you can tell he's trying to do the right thing. He's like,
yeah,
I don't imagine he was as mean as I just said it there. I'm sure he was like, okay, go for a shower, sit in the bath, you'll be fine. And also, I remember from last week, he said to her, I don't know what supplies you need.
don't know what supplies to
I
get.
just love the panic, the
Yeah.
dad panic.
Well, this is the thing. This is, and I don't want to generalise because it's, it's the 90s and we don't do that anymore. But I assume this must be a pressure on women, right? When you're a boy and when you're at school, girls always seem more mature and they always seem to know a lot more than you, and you just sort of accept that, and you go, well, I'll catch up with them at some point with my development, I'm sure. But you don't. You don't. And then you become a dad. And then you get into situations where you're like, oh no, we need mum. We need mum here. So I don't know, ladies.
Yeah.
Do you just know more?
Yes.
Okay. Or is there a pressure where you're like, I actually don't know more, but one of us has got to
We'll
fucking...
figure it out.
One of us has got to step up here because he's fucking useless.
Yeah.
I can imagine Tracy's dad really panicking, and I would as well. I'd be so ill-equipped, and I would try my best. My whole thing would be, let's try and make this as comfortable as and not a thing. and then inevitably you turn it into a thing.
Yeah.
And it becomes a story that you remember for the rest of your life, Tracy. That you even write into a podcast.
But it wins you a prize.
It does win you a prize. Well done, Tracy. You and with your dad's quick thinking have won some goodies for Dad. All those stories were great, and it's great being a dad, and two, it's great talking about Dad's stuff because it's funny.
Yeah.
So, dads out there, we salute you. That's it for our So Dad It's Good segment. Remember, Father's Day is only a little while away, so don't miss Harry's buy one, gift one offer at Tesco and harrys.com. It's the perfect time to treat yourself and your dad.
Right, well, it is still the Father's Day episode, so I'm not a father.
No.
You are a father.
I am, as far as I'm aware.
To how many? Who knows? I've got 2.
I'm supposed to have 2. That's the thing about
Imagine
dads.
that. What would you... That is so... Like,
Break my
I
heart.
know how...
Break my heart.
If you had to pay for another one.
I'd be furious. I'd be so angry.
That's the thing about dads, and this probably isn't really that funny, but
No.
as a woman, I know how many children I've got.
Well, physically,
I was there.
but also as
you
a dad.
could have fathered a child.
As a dad, even though I was joking just then, about whether or not the kids are actually mine, right?
Oh, that wasn't the joke I was making.
Oh, that was the joke I was making.
I was making a joke that you could have other kids.
Even though I was joking then, it would be nice to have, like, mandatory, I don't know, paternity DNA. I'm not saying because I don't think the kids are mine. I'm not saying that.
Well, this took a fucking turn.
No. No, I'm not saying that. It's just something, because obviously you
So I refuse, respectfully.
You watched the kids come out of you. I'd like to just have something go
just 100%.
Just.
Well, that's
I don't
true.
know.
You don't know 100%.
No, I suppose you don't, do you? Well, no, don't think about it too much. But just to, like, I don't know what I mean by it, but just
I get
an
it.
official thing.
An official thing.
Yeah.
Because I know they're mine.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't. I don't 100% know.
Not 100%.
No.
No. Do you want to do a DNA test?
No. Just in case. No, because I do like being a dad.
2010.
I do like being a dad. I know Harrison's mine, that's for sure, because we were at it like rabbits. There was no time for you to have it off with anyone else, because I was in there constantly.
Oh, wow. So
Jude,
romantic.
might be a question mark with Jude. We'll find out.
He does look different.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Jude and Harrison. They look totally different as well. But people say Jude looks more like you.
I know. Yeah. Does he? I don't think he does. And you don't either.
No.
Looks like his dad.
He does look like his dad.
What was it like becoming a dad? Well, I've said this before.
Go on.
That it is sort of terrifying and exciting.
We weren't really prepared.
No one is. No one's prepared.
For being parents.
No one's prepared.
I don't think you can be prepared.
And even if you go, yeah, I am prepared. It's not. It's mental.
Nothing can prepare you for having a baby.
There's nothing anyone can say. There's nothing in a book.
And we had kids really young. Well, not really young.
No.
I was 22. I was 23 when I had Harrison.
24.
You were 24. And that is young now, though.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're classed as young parents.
Suppose so. Nowadays, yeah, people have kids.
Kids in their 30s and 40s.
You will feel as prepared at the age of 36. You'll be just as prepared as a 21-year-old.
Well, yeah.
To
I
having
guess
children,
so.
there's nothing you can do
about it. A lot of our friends who have had kids older ask us for advice.
I know.
And we're like, I don't know.
No, I don't know.
You just do it.
You do have to just do it.
You just do it and hope for the best.
No, I suppose it will be a completely new experience. You won't be ready for it. So you might as well just do it.
Yeah.
If you're sitting there now going, and you're a couple, and you're going, oh, we'd like to have children, but we're not sure if we're prepared, you'll never be prepared.
Yeah.
Just do it.
That is
Just
a good
fucking do it.
Just do it. Crank them up.
So here's like an example of how it doesn't matter what you're told or anything like that. You'll learn. You'll learn on the job, and you will just learn.
Mm.
You won't know anything to begin with, and you'll know a lot more within the first couple of days.
Mm.
But we did go to antenatal classes with Harrison.
When I was pregnant with Harrison.
I
Because we were told that's what we were supposed
like,
to do.
this would be a good idea. We were like, well, yeah, obviously, we don't know anything, so
Yeah.
let's do that. I cannot tell you anything. I can't remember anything from those classes.
No, and obviously it was a long time ago, but even when we got to the point of giving birth and stuff, I didn't remember anything.
No. I remember them being like, have the bag ready.
Yeah. But
Have your plan, how you want to have the
well,
baby.
that
and
went
all
out the window.
Exactly. So it was all a waste of that was the only one thing I remembered. It was like
you write a birth plan, what
Yeah.
you would like to have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never going to happen exactly how you want it
No.
because it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to write a birth plan of everything that you want, the people you want
Yeah.
there, like what drugs you want, what drugs you don't want,
Yeah.
whatever. I went for a checkup and the doctor was like, Harrison's shat inside you, so we have
Yeah.
to get him out.
yeah, you were induced.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as if like you woke up and was like, oh, I think I'm having contractions, and we go, right, let's
No.
consult the birth plan.
No,
We're ready to go, whatever happens. No,
No.
it was like we went for a checkup,
he's had a shit.
and they were like, oh, he needs to come. And we're like, and then I even said, oh, okay, should we book in tomorrow or the next day or something like that? And the doctor was like, no, this is happening right now.
Yeah.
That was when
You shit yourself.
becoming a dad became really
Yeah.
real to me.
Really?
When it was like,
He's coming.
he's coming right now. And I was like, oh. Because I had,
Freaked out, were you?
because we had tickets to the theatre. We were supposed to go and see a play that evening that I never got to see in the end.
It's been screwing you from the beginning.
Yes, yeah.
One of the first nights we brought Harrison home, tiny, tiny little baby, and they tell you that babies, they don't smile and they don't know what's going on, but when they do smile, if you say, oh, he smiled, they go, oh, it's just wind, because they're too, like, days old, they're too little to smile. But do you remember, he was about 3 days old, maybe not even, and he reached, you were holding him,
Yeah, carry on.
and he reached up and he grabbed James's nose and then did this huge smile. James was like, fucking taking the piss at me already. Taking the piss out my nose already.
Literally was just like, if he could have spoken, he would have said, hello, big nose. And that's been the relationship ever since, to be honest.
Yeah. The nurse told me when Harrison was born that he was the cutest baby she had ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard her saying that too.
No, because I said that. I said, oh, I bet you say that to everybody. She was like, I don't. You
Yeah.
said that about Jude?
What?
That he wasn't as cute as Harrison?
Well, I don't think he was.
It was about 4 days after Jude was born,
Yeah.
and we were bathing him on the living
Yeah.
room floor. And you went, oh, I'll just say it. He's not as cute as the first one.
Well, the thing
I
about...
nearly fucking smacked him.
No, I wasn't just saying it. I was just... we were talking. We were just having a conversation. I was just being objective. Right? Because Harrison, to be fair on Harrison, he looked like a fucking... commercial baby or something. He looked like a cartoon. He looked like a Pixar baby.
Yeah, he did, yeah. Yeah, he
Like,
did.
it was like, if Chat GPT... could, if you said, make me a cute baby, it would be Harrison's picture.
Yeah.
He did just look like a really cute baby.
He was cute. But so was Jude. Jude was
Hey,
beautiful.
well, yeah, he's good. Listen, it's flipped now.
You can't say this.
Can I not? I can't say this.
It's been
Both the boys are good looking. Both the boys are really beautiful boys. They look
They are.
like their mum. They're very good looking boys, right? But Jude, even though he's younger than Harrison,
Jude's a bit more.
Jude started to grow a bit quicker, I
Yeah,
think.
Jude's got like a jawline.
Jude's got like the sort of Squidward, you know, that handsome Squidward meme. Like he's got those cheeks
The
and
problem-
the jawline and stuff.
Jude had a
Harrison still
traumatic-
looks quite sort of young and like
Jude
a
had a
puppy.
traumatic birth, so his head was a bit funny.
That was the problem as well. He had a proper cone head when he was first born, Jude.
Yeah, he did, yeah. 'Cause
Which all babies do have, But I really
Slightly.
yeah, because
Jude's was a bit.
the skull doesn't fuse until much later.
Jude's birth was actually a little bit traumatic when I think back on
It was a bit weird, yeah, because
came
it was a long labour.
Yeah, I was in labour for like 2 days before we even went to the
Yeah,
hospital.
it was a long labour, and we were in that situation. Obviously, anyone that's had a baby knows that you sit around for a while, and the doctor turns up every once in a while, right?
Yeah.
Every time the doctor turned up, they'd have a look and go, no, not yet. It got to a point where I was like, oh man, this needs to...
Getting bored, were you?
Getting really bored here. This is really cutting
Completed
into...
football manager at that point.
Yeah, this is really cutting into my me time. And I remember being this like bag of positivity, just uninformed... But no.
Sure, I fucking loved that.
No, but I just remember being like, because it had been hours and hours and hours and hours, and the doctor would be like, no, you haven't dilated, right? That's the word, right?
Yeah.
You haven't dilated, and you're at
Like
something.
3
Yeah, you're at.
centimetres. You got to be at like 10.
Yeah, we need you at whatever. And I remember after hours and hours and hours and waiting for the doctor to turn up, I was like, he better fucking tell her that she's dilated enough here, because otherwise this is going to be really difficult to spin this. And he was like, no, not yet. And then I was like, I can't remember exactly what I was said, but I was like, no, but it's good news that. Like I was just trying to sort of
The dad panic.
turn this into sort of how this is such great news and it's fine.
Oh, we
and
can hang out longer.
Yeah, no, this is great, isn't it? Look, what's on the television?
We got
Like,
sent back home, and then Jude came in because we had to rush that night. We got sent home again. They were like, go home, it's not happening.
is that true?
Yeah. Because don't you remember we drove to the hospital really... I waited and waited and waited, and I waited so long
Yeah.
that I sort of felt it coming in the house.
Right.
So we had to drive to the hospital.
Because I was
and
worried about the car seats.
Yes, because you'd just got a new car and you were like, not on the seats, Claire, please.
Yeah, that's right.
It's cream leather.
It was cream leather.
And then he came in like 3 hours. But
Yes.
it was traumatic. His eyes were all purple and his head was a bit funny. And
Yeah.
He looked very scared when he came out.
He had a massive set of balls on him, though.
Jesus Christ, I thought something was wrong with him. When she picked him up, and she picked him up holding his little bum and holding his neck, his fucking balls were down here, but here.
Yeah.
And I went, oh my God, are his balls all right? And she went, yeah, they're just big.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Really long balls.
Got his dad's balls?
I don't have long balls.
No, sorry.
Oh, yeah, his dad's long balls.
Yeah, no, I meant, sorry, getting mixed up.
But I love being a dad. It's great being a dad. I'll always be a dad.
Well, that was exciting.
Right, I think that was the universe telling me that I was being boring, because we just had a whole blackout.
Everything just went down. All the lights, all
power
the
went.
cameras.
And the whole building, the whole of Spotify building. Was it the whole building, do you know?
What's happening? Zombie
Well,
apocalypse?
it was the universe going, move on. You're being boring, Buckley. We do have some other dad listener stories. We've got Putters here. He says just sort of little memories of times that our listeners have spent with their dads. We got hammered in Turkey, and it took us 2 hours to get to our hotel room from reception.
Nice.
See, I've got that stuff to look forward to.
You do, yeah.
I cannot wait to have a pint with my boys.
Oh.
I cannot wait. And we've also got little trips and stuff that
Yeah, you and the boys have got some
we
stuff
keep
planned
banging on about
when they're old
Japan.
enough. Mm-hmm. You want to go
That
to
we're
Japan?
going to go to Japan. That's going to be a really, really great. Like,
And I'm not invited, am I?
well, you've always said that you're not fussed about Japan.
No.
And me and the boys, we love video games.
That's why you want to go, yeah.
Well, this is
Harrison's
the
a
thing.
teenager already. He's going to be
Well,
14 the end of this year.
Yeah, in 3 years' time, Harrison will be driving.
Oh, now that will be good. That sweet year between 17 and 18
Right.
when Harrison's driving, but he
Yeah.
can't go to the pub.
Oh,
He
yeah.
can come and pick us up for the pub.
Yeah. That's going to be brilliant.
1 year. Coastal Vibe Life, love the name, said, my dad sang the song we danced to. It was beautiful. I'm assuming at the wedding.
Mm.
Dave, smashing 23 pints of Guinness on my dad's 50th birthday.
Brilliant.
What age will the boys be when you're 50?
So let's have a look. Harrison will be 26.
God. So Judah will
Harrison
be
will be 25, 26.
So Judah will be 23, 24.
Yeah.
So you can go out
Yeah.
with the boys?
Yeah. I can't wait to go to the pub with my boys.
Mm.
I'm really looking forward to that. What is this?
Neil said.
Hang on. You've and for good reason, because it's fucking weird, and I don't know what to do with this information. But you've, I assume you did it on purpose.
Rebecca.
But no, Ollie.
So they must have been on some sort of holiday. They must have been snorkeling or something.
Yeah.
And Ollie's dad stroked a man's ass thinking it was a manta ray. Brackets, he was in a wetsuit.
Okay.
So to be fair, it was grey, it was shiny, it was under the water. He had a little stroke.
That is good. See, the thing is, and I've not touched a manta ray before, but
You have touched a man's ass before.
I've touched plenty of men's ass, so I would know the difference straight away. No, because the manta ray is part of the shark family. Is that correct? Guy, get on it. Google that quickly. Believe that's true. A manta ray, by the way, it couldn't have been a manta ray. They're about fucking 12 foot long or something, are they not?
I think Ollie's dad just fancied a little touch.
I think it might have been a stingray or something like that. It couldn't have been a manta ray.
Manta rays are not part of the shark family.
Though they are closely related.
yeah, but that doesn't matter. Anyway.
But I assume that the manta ray skin would be like a
wetsuit.
shark's, sort of that sandpapery sort of. I'm just going.
No, it's like
No.
soft. Is
No,
it not?
shark skin is made out of the same material that their teeth are made out of.
Okay. One here from
And
Neil.
that is why you listen to this podcast.
Neil says, naming me after the drug dealer that got Dad and my mum wasted, and I was the result. Aww. That's
lovely.
beautiful.
That's lovely. It's a shame Jeremy Kyle's still not on the television. Here's a few funny ones to finish off. Bella says he got stuck in a baby swing at the park.
And the
newspaper printed his name as Humbledink. There's some layers to that story.
What's Humbledink?
I don't know. I assume it's a misprint.
Right. Well, we need to know your dad's name.
But your dad got stuck in a baby swing, ended up in the newspaper. Right, got stuck in the baby swing. That's funny enough. Then ended up in the newspaper because of it. Brilliant. Misprinted his name as Humbledink.
You know that would happen to you.
It's bound to, isn't it? At some point. Daniel says he paid in 20p's for an £80 bottle of perfume for my mum in Boots.
Tender is tender.
Oh, that's romantic.
20 pences.
Hey, listen, Claire. I, for one, have enjoyed this celebration of all things Dad.
Yeah.
It's been great. Thank you very much to Harry's for sponsoring our podcast. And, of course, thank you to everyone that sent in their stories, their dad stories. We enjoyed them. Sorry if we didn't get to read yours out. We got loads of them. But that's it. That's it for this week's episode of the Buckleys. Thank you for listening/watching. Remember, do get in touch with your stories and questions by emailing the Buckleys. We don't get many questions.
No.
Give us some questions. If they're good, we'll use them.
What are people going to ask us?
I don't know. You can message us at the Buckleys Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to the show on Spotify or whatever podcast app you like to use. And if you're feeling extra generous, why not go ahead and leave us a review? All that is left is for Claire to say...
See you next Thursday.
There we go, it's a podcast! Susan, got to check.